right. So I'm at that time again when life hits. It's always May and June because that's when my wife does these youth musical productions and I help direct and make stuff. This year it's Wizard of Oz, so I've been making like props and like there's a Winky spear and I'm trying to make these flipping hourglasses and whatever. And so the hardest thing about reviewing books or even just enjoying books, because I don't, I do reviews, but mostly it's just about talking about books, insights and things. But it deeply affects how much I enjoy something or how much I have time to put into something in May and June especially. So I am at, where am I? What chapter is this? I'm right in the middle of chapter 13. Chapter 13. So just over halfway. I have some thoughts about Gardens of the Moon so far. Now, this is my third time through this. And every time I go through it, it's a little bit different. The first time through, I was just trying to hold on. And, I went with... every once in a while, I'd go to that PDF that goes around and it has a lot of details, and I kind of got overwhelmed with it, but it did help me ground myself a little bit on the bigger picture. And so I'm glad that I did some of that. And the second time through, I liked it the first time through because I thought there's something here. Even though I don't understand all this terminology, there's something here. And the second time through, having just finished the Crippled God, liked it a lot more. And this third time through, even though I haven't done the whole reread of the whole series, but on this third time through, this is now having removed myself for a year or so, a year and a half from the series. And going through, it feels like I'm going through fresh, but I'm noticing things that you don't notice the first time. And in a lot of ways, I don't know. It's either like my favorite, I really like it. I really, really like it, but I don't know if, it throws a lot at you for a first book. And I almost wish this was later in the series somehow, because it throws things, like it's great if you've read it. It's great if you know who, it throws things like the Crippled God. It throws things like the Forkless Sail. It does so much about the Mouse Quarter and all that. And really you don't need the whole series for that. But it does throw a lot at you. And if you can hold on to it, I think it's a great book. Like, I really, really, really like it. I think the stuff we get, I'm liking the stuff with Lore and Tattersail. I didn't even remember that Tattersail was like big and old. For some reason, I thought she was just a young Kadra mage the first time through. And so understanding her more has really changed how I view all that. And I always liked the stuff with Opon the first time through and the second and the third time. It's still my favorite stuff. And, details about how everything is being manipulated and the deck of dragons means so much, and why Perrin had to briefly basically be dead, and the stuff with Sari and the rope and Cotillion, and like there's so much that is being laid out on the table with this book. It's just hard the first time through to have any idea what it means. But the second time through, it obviously means a lot more. And so I am very much appreciating it on that level. Now, I thought I was going to go through this and maybe do some videos like I had in the past, like explaining some stuff, but I just don't have time for it, and I want to get on to, I'm more than reviewing it and wanting to be like a Sherpa for people. I want to, express how I'm feeling about it, and I really do enjoy it. I don't I can I if you're just getting to this for your first time through, I would still just say hold on. Hold on. This stuff will make more sense. And maybe the most important thing is just to enjoy the time with the characters and get to know them. But a lot of the details might not matter so much, but they're certainly great details if you can hold on to them. Uh, I really enjoy. I had totally forgotten that Talk the Younger was a claw. Let me just open up the Dramatis Personae so I can just go through and the stuff with Tattersail I'm enjoying a lot more than the previous two times through. The stuff with Hairlock, always thought that was interesting. Talk the Younger, I obviously love him in going on in the series. The stuff with Whiskey Jack Callum, Sorry, really shines. I do love, yeah. Some of the Bridge Burner stuff is just funny. The stuff, and with Dujek, who seems like he's talked about, if you lose Dujek, it's like you've lost. You might have a whole revolution in the Empire, and so I'm so excited to see more of that. I think with the ENC Esselmont stuff, maybe on the Empire side, I'm hoping. But if you're going through for the first time, actually, it so differs from what you think the series is going to be. But I love the stuff with Dujek and Taishran, Bellerdan, Nightchill. Lorne is great. I liked her better the second time and the third time through. Let's see. There's so many little hints about Shadow Throne that you never, they're right out there, and it's amazing how much is put in front of you, but it's just hard to grasp the first time. But there's so much with that and Dancer. Let me just look through. I love Krepa by the end of the series. One of my favorite characters. I think he was in my top 2. He might have been my favorite character by the end. He's kind of insufferable in this first book, but still interesting. The whole thing with the eel and the circle breaker and all that. There's a lot going on with these assassins and who's who. It almost feels more like a whodunit or Cloak and Dagger, whereas the rest of the series sort of takes another sort of turn. And so, anything else here? Anything else? Stuff with Animander Rake is obviously awesome, and I liked Crone. And I'm looking forward to getting through this. I imagine, even people like Kaz Devore, who I assume I'll get more in the ENC Esselmont stuff, and we even have things that are alluded to with Calor that the first time through you have no idea what they're talking about, and how he was there when the T'Lanai Mass were very young, and very cool. I think, man, Ikariam and Mappo are even mentioned in the, holy smokes, the Panians here. I think it's a great book for people who have read it, and I think it's just fine for people who haven't, but it may suffer from a little bit of a little bit of overload with details and things. But I do really enjoy it. I do really enjoy it, and it does just remind me how much I love the series. I'm so looking forward to it. I imagine I'll be done in the next week, but so much of my time at the moment is just invested in Wizard of Oz, like making props, you know, making props and doing what I can for my wife in that regard and having free time. And so that's the hardest part of reading books for me and coming to talk to you guys. Some of the times where I've hated a book or disliked chapters and things, and I've come on here and ranted about stuff, there's been other things happening that I've just been busy with at work or whatever else. And so wanted to check in to let you know it's still, the reread is still going, but it's, we'll see if I have individual thoughts on chapters and things. I haven't felt compelled to come on here yet because this is my third time through this book. Basically, what I've wanted to say about it, it's already been said. So we'll get to some of the fresher stuff, I'm sure, when we get back into, I might just skip Dead House Gates if I feel like most of the people viewing are, they were with me before and they're already veterans of the series. I might skip Dead House Gates and Memories of Ice and House of Chains since I was relatively fresh on those still, and I feel like as I'm reading through Gardens of the Moon, I'm remembering a lot. And I have people here to help me out. So when we're done Gardens of the Moon, we'll see if I want to keep going that way or just jump right into Midnight Tides, which I'm very much looking forward to. So talk to you soon. Thanks for being here, and let me know what you think I should do. I haven't felt compelled to do like 100 videos, per book and that sort of thing. So we'll see how it goes. Talk to you soon. Bye.